Today, you're going to continue to practice measuring, but you're also going to use estimation as a tool for measurement. Today, we're going to be thinking about benchmarks for estimation. If you have a ruler, take it out right now. If you have a yardstick or a meter stick, you can use that too. Come up with a list of objects that are about an inch long, about a centimeter long, a millimeter, a foot, a yard, and even a meter. We are going to create a class list, a benchmark list of objects, everyday objects that are about a foot long, about a meter long, about a centimeter long. That way, when we're making estimations, we can think back to our benchmarks and decide if the object in front of us is about a foot or a centimeter or a meter. I'm going to start this benchmark list with you today, but then you are going to finish it with your teacher to come up with your own or your class's own. Did you think of anything that's about an inch long? Well, if you were to look at a quarter, an inch is about the width of a quarter. I'm certain that everybody knows about the size of a quarter, so understanding that an inch is about a width of a quarter can help you when you're looking at another object and deciding if it's about an inch or not. Let's think about foot. To me, a foot, I think about maybe the length of a football. Just because I'm familiar with the football. You might have your own way of understanding this. You could also think of a foot as about the size of an adult foot. So when you look at your parents' feet or your older siblings' feet, you can understand, okay, that's about a foot. Let's talk about yard. A yard is about the length of a baseball bat. I'm very familiar with baseball bats, so it's easy for me to remember that a yard is about the size of a baseball bat. And then finally, a mile. And I just think about a mile as the distance I can walk in about 20 minutes. And I go on a walk every single day. So when I walk for about 20 minutes, I know I've walked about a mile. Again, the reason why we're doing this, it's not super precise, but we do this so that we can make estimations about the size of other things since we have some benchmark sizes right here. I'd like you to think about this for the metric system. So remember, metrics, we're talking about millimeter, centimeter, and so on. Okay, let's talk about your task for today. This task is called estimate, measure, estimate. Here are the instructions. Make an estimate using a specific unit of measure. Use measurement tools to find the actual measurement. Convert your actual measurement to a different unit. Use your actual measurement to estimate the measurement for a similar item. That might seem a little bit confusing, but it's actually really fun and exciting to do. So let's walk through the first one. Distance between your eyes. So first you're going to make an estimation in centimeters. And think back about our benchmark. We didn't do centimeters, but think about centimeters like the width of your finger. And I'm going to show you what a centimeter looks like on here. It's this long. Okay. Go ahead and write what your estimate is. Then take an actual ruler and measure in centimeters the distance between your eyes. Next, you're going to convert the centimeters into meters. If you need help with that, you can always refer back to your conversion table worksheet to see how many centimeters are in a meter. Sorry, my dog did not like that I just dropped a piece of paper. Then it says to use the results of your conversion to estimate the width of your head. So now that you understand in meters, so now that you understand how far apart your eyes are, think about how far apart your head, well, maybe ear to ear is, and use meters for that. You're going to do that for different items, like the length of your science book. And then you get to pick 2 items. So you can use items in the classroom or at home to do number 3 and number 4. Then you're going to move on to customary. So we're talking about inches and feet and yards. And then finally, we're going to get into some really fun things like measuring time. So you're actually going to decide how long is it about to sing the happy birthday song. And then you're going to measure it. So you'll need a stopwatch, which you can just use your computer for that or your phone if you have one. And then it says time to walk to the cafeteria. Now, if you are at home, and our schools don't really have cafeterias, but maybe where you pick up your hot lunch, you can decide the time to walk to your kitchen for wherever you are in your house, or just pick another thing, cross this out, and then write it down. Maybe it's time to walk to the end of the block. Just check in with your parents to see where you can walk to that they're okay with. And finally, you're going to measure capacity. And so we're talking about liquid volume. If you do not have measuring cups that are in milliliters, then you either hold off on doing this if you don't have the proper tools, or you can use maybe cups measurements. If you have like baking cups in your house, you might have a clear Pyrex dish that you use to measure things for baking. So you can change this measurement, this unit here, for whatever you have in your house to make it work. Remember, we're just all about making things work and being flexible. The important part here is that you're estimating, so you're getting better at looking at objects and guessing, estimating, using your knowledge about the metric system and the customary system in order to be accurate with your estimations. Have fun today.